Hello everyone, it is me. Right, well, we're cracking on with this. I've just got these three 6 panels to go. So I've done in from there. So now I thought, right, well, I'll do this one and then I'll do the middle one for the last one. And yeah, we'll see how that works. All right, so that noise you can hear is my Picmondo. Right, oh dear, it's quite a big one. And it's got a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Oh, maybe not 3. Right, let's go and start with 1. I've loaded up the other pen, look at this one. This one's all chunky in places. Right. 1. God, where to start? Right, actually, I think I'm going to start with the pen. So what's been happening? Yesterday I had a meeting with the, oh, what's it called? The people from the council. Living Well people, I think it is. And they're going to get me a little bit of help, I think. She kept saying, have you thought about direct payments? And I said, yeah, but, you know, how much stress is that going to put onto me? You know, that puts so much stress onto people. You know, it'd be good if we had direct payments and that you dealt with it and just billed us or whatever. But then, you know, it's a case of, yeah, you can bill, but, you know, it all depends whether we've got any money. I mean, you know, duh, I'm on benefits, I'm struggling. I mean, it may not seem like I'm struggling because I tend to overspend on things. But, you know. But, well, we'll see what happens. So they can get somebody out to have a look at my housing and make recommendations in a letter, which then I can give to the housing people. So hopefully that might help me be able to be moved into, you know, a better premise on their property on their thing. But we'll see. See, I know if I had a separate kitchen, I'd feel a lot better. Because we can't do anything in this side. We're told, you know, you can't do anything, and yet in the updated thing that they sent us yesterday, a lot of it remains the same to what it was before, where it tells us that the inside is our responsibility, except for things like the carpet. Well, that's a joke, isn't it? So I'm going to have to mention that. Say, well, give us new bloody carpet. And we're not allowed to make any changes inside. I mentioned about at one point trying to, you know, update the cupboards, you know. That was when I had a little bit of money in. And I said, right, you know, can I update my cupboards? I think it was when I won that postcode lottery. And they turned around and said, no, we can't do that. And it's like, great, these are so dirty because they're just old. They are just so old, and, you know, old cabinets from like the 70s, 80s, you know. I mean, I'm practically as old as the cupboards. Yeah, it's just bizarre. It really is. But they won't let you do it. You see, I'll change it all around the kitchen. I'll change exactly how to have it. I've moved the sink over to where my washing machine is and make that the sink area and the washing area. I would put in my dishwasher. Actually, I'd probably get a bigger one, and I would only have half a cupboard on the wall, and it wouldn't come down so low. And then on the other side, I'll have a work surface. I'll put my fridge in the corner, where it's not out in the sitting room. Problem is, I've got the chimney breast sort of in the way, and the where would I put the cooker? Let's have the cooker in the corner. But see, there's no window in there. See, that's the problem. There's no chuffing window in that kitchen. But well. Yeah, they're going to help me move a lot of stuff. Well, they're going to try and ask somebody to help me move a lot of stuff from my house to my little office. So, you know, that would be good. Because I've got a whole load of stuff in the hallway which could just go. And I'm sure I could, you know. I've got lots of other things that could go. Yeah, it means that then my office gets a little bit crowded, but I've got space under the tables, which it wouldn't matter being because a lot of this stuff actually should belong in the office because it's like for my craft fairs. But well, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, £15 an hour is what they say. You can get somebody in to help clean. Pity the poor sod. 15 quid. I'll just have to find it, wouldn't I? But see, even if I do that once a week, that is, say, 4 weeks. That is... But you see then, as I was pointing out, they then, you're hiring that person. And it's like, I said, yeah, but then I have to hire that person. Then I have to pay tax and all that kind of stuff on it, or sort it all out, or whatever. And I can't do that. God, doing my taxes for just myself alone, you know, God. I'm not earning anything, so it's like, you know. I don't know. See what gives. social prescriber apparently. Oh, and she said that they do these walks. I said, I've just told you I can't walk anywhere, you know, because of my back. It just absolutely locks in, and that's it. Boom. And it's excruciating agony. I mean, I found my TENS machine the other day when I emptied off the sofa, and I went, whoa, thank God for that. And I put it on, and it was just bloody annoying, because I think I must be allergic to the pads or something that stick to my skin, because not only do they because I get overheated, I kind of like sweat them off, and then I find them in all kinds of weird places, and usually I accidentally touch them as I'm finding them and give myself an electric shock. But then once I take them off, my skin where they've been is incredibly itchy, and a little bit sore. So I reckon it's probably red. But well, I don't know. I really don't know what the answer is. She said, have I thought about council housing? And I said, yeah, I have, but I don't fancy that idea, because you know, she asked about a bungalow or whatever it was, and I said no, because A, you're lucky if you can get one, and then I said, you know, I hate to say it, but they're in noisy areas, and where I am, it is very quiet. I like it. It's peaceful. It's calming. It's because back in the day, not so long ago, when I first moved up here, I was given a place on the council. It was a 4-bedroomed semi-detached house, and I thought, wow. This when my kids was younger, and I thought, brilliant, wow. And my plan was buy it on the, you know, buy to let scheme, and then after 3 years I can sell it off, and then I can use the money, what I sell it off for, to get somewhere nice in a nicer area. And that was my plan. But I didn't encounter the area where I was, and we had a thing called the mafia. They called themselves the mafia, the town mafia or whatever it was. Shit, really. But they were just bored, lot of bored young kids who thought the world owed them, and they didn't like me and my family because we were southerners, should we say. And I worked, kids had clothes, kids did things, we went on excursions. I didn't spend all my time in the pub. And yeah, and so they'd be outside our house. Well, I did buy it, because at one point it wasn't too bad, and then it got worse after I bought it. And that was when I lasted a year. Now, because I had some council housing discount, so I bought this house. It was 43,000. It was what's the word? Priced at 43,500, I think it was. Then I had some discount. I got a 43,000 mortgage on it, but I had discount, which they took off, which was £21,000. So basically I was buying the house for £22,000, 4-bedroom house. And So I thought, great, I'm going to have a good amount for a down payment for my next one in a nice place for the kids and everything else. Yeah, it didn't work out like that, did it? No, because despite me going up to the council every week with reams and reams, and I mean reams, of things that were happening to us, like people walking past with air rifles and shooting at my windows. My car was forever being broken into. We were threatened, I don't know how many times. You name it. A lot of things happened, and I remember being outside wiping shit and gravy. A lot of it, sometimes it was gravy and other stuff off my doors and windows and walls, and trying to say to myself, well, this is fine, they're doing me a favour because I need to wash these walls, and they're just making sure that I do it. So there we go. And so I turn it into a and of course they saw me there happily scrubbing away, even though inside I was like going, oh, for fuck's sakes, how much more can I cope with this? You know, it was awful. I mean, a couple of times I even had to have the police help us off the estate and down to my friend's house, because it was just the threats. I mean, when you have gangs of like 30, 40 kids outside your house, taunting, leering at you, doing all kinds of horrible things. I mean, like some of the kids were dropping their trousers and then calling you a pedo or whatever. Yeah, that wasn't good. So yeah, it was, and I shouldn't have said that word, should I? Oh well, the P word. And yeah, it was horrible. And when it comes down to the police sitting with me and my friend, in my friend's house, police sitting there and saying, look, we are kind of like powerless to act unless they do something. And I'm thinking, but that's ludicrous. I said, you know, the amount of stress they're putting people through. And they said, well, yeah, sadly that's how it is. And I went, God. And they said, well, what you can do, he says, I'm not telling you to do it, but I'm just sort of, we're just talking, aren't we? And I went, yeah, we're just talking. And he goes, well, there's somebody up there, you know. I think they said his name was John or Dave or something like that. I think it was John. Who, if you bung him a few tins, he will go and sort them out for you. He's a nice old man. And I went, oh, just up there. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I might have seen it. Was he coming out of number blah, blah, blah and stuff? And, you know, you get the gist. We're working out. He goes, yeah. And I never did it, though, because I was too scared of the result. I was very scared that if he did get into it, you know, go and sort them out, it would just escalate things. Because that's how you get the fear, and then you get the double fear and the paranoia and the everything else. So yeah, so I managed to sell my house to one of those quick sale places, no questions asked, which was just as well. And I was gutted because I had my lovely new kitchen that I wanted. I had the walls all plastered. It was going to be brilliant, you know. And I'd had a utility room made for the new boiler that I had in there. I had a new bathroom. And it was, you know, we were getting somewhere. And yeah, and then I had to sell it. But I did manage to get 70 grand for it. And I thought, oh, wonderful. But the downside was, by the time the mortgage was paid back, and the council decided that they were going to, because I sold the house early, they were going to take 2 years of my discount back, even though I'd earned that discount fair and bloody square from all I'd accumulated discount fair and square. So that discount should be mine. It shouldn't still be belonging to the bloody council, because I'd earned that from when I was down south, you know, renting through you know, from the council, and then the housing association, council orientated housing association. So that money, in effect, was already paid for by me. And so when they took it back, I thought, that's a little bit much. So they took back 14,000, and they did nothing towards the stress, nothing towards all the complaints that I made. They basically went up and they made matters worse. They went up and had words, and of course then that just made it as we were troublemakers, and it made it a lot worse. And it was just horrible. I mean, living in fear, and you know, it was absolutely horrendous. Oh wow. The amount of windscreens I had. Oh God. And tyres. Scratches and dents on my car where concrete bits were thrown at it. And then I managed to sell it, and then I used the money that I got from that, because I did walk away with some, not as much as I would have had, which was a pain. And I managed to pay for a bond for a private house out of that town, and in the sort of the next village on, because my daughter still went and my son still went to school in that town. And yeah, it was, oh God. And I remember moving out, I because I had that extra money, which was handy, and so I could rent the house and didn't have to move out and move in on sort of the same day. I took over a week, 2 weeks to move in, and I did it bit by bit by looking like you know, nobody knew that I was moving out until the very last moment. And the very last moment, I ordered a man with a van, and he came round and he picked up my friends. They helped me, and he picked up the big stuff, the white goods and the beds and all that kind of stuff, and loaded it up. And luckily, you know, by the time we were finished, about 6 o'clock in the evening, and we were just exiting the estate at that point. And as we were going out, I remember seeing the neighbours who basically started all the hoo-ha. Their kid's father there is an absolute moron. He really was. We used to call him Lord Farquaad, because he was a short man who really thought he was big, and he thought he was the bee's knees. He knew nothing, and every time you'd see him, and he'd be trying to raise his trousers up to make himself look bigger, and his conversations as he was there trying to, you know, intimidate you was hysterical, and I never stood for it. And so he set his kids on me, which I did struggle with, because when it's kids, they're completely unpredictable, and they don't have care. They don't have any kind of you know, sense of sort of, you know, repercussions. You know, there'll be no repercussions because they're kids type of thing. They have none of that, and so they're far more dangerous in my eyes than adults. And yeah, and I remember the little son, named after his dad. Oh God, bet he was a dick. And I remember him, and he would have his window wound down as I was going out, saying, "Hey, look at he's going, and stuff like that. When they realised, they just thought we were just going out, you know, leaving the estate for that night. I didn't realise anything else, and I turned around and I thought, well, yeah, I'm going. I'm leaving this place. I'm going on to better things. You're still going to be here in the same misery, trying to work out, you know, what to do next." no ambition, no nothing. And that's how I got it around my head. And I just thought, yep, miserable sods. The only person I felt sorry for was the mother. She was browbeaten. She was bullied by all of them, the kids, and she had one. She had 4 kids. Was it 4 kids? 1, 2, 3 kids, and one of them was disabled. The eldest was disabled, and she was lovely, that disabled girl. And the mum doted on her, and yeah. But I really felt sorry for her. But yeah, it was horrible. But I got out of there, moved into a lovely place. Another place. Big rooms. Smallish kitchen, but it wasn't bad. Had a garage, which was perfect. Yeah, I liked it. And then the owner decided he was going to, after 4 years, I think, 4, nearly 5 years there, the owner decided he was going to sell up. And so we had to move again. Then we moved into the next village. And I did a lot of that in my car again, except for the big stuff, which then we got the window cleaner man to move the big stuff. I moved into a nicer, bigger house right opposite, literally, there was the little road, little cul-de-sac road, and then there was the playing field, which was ideal. And we were there for a while. And then, well, my son was hardly ever at home. And so I decided, well, there's no point me renting this 3-bedroom house when it's just me and him, and he's hardly ever here. So I then went to a 1-bedroom place, which I saw in town, and I really liked it. And I thought, wow, that's just me. Had a little courtyard, a little door, patio door that opened out into the little garden. It was a little courtyard garden, and it was just lovely. And I thought, oh yeah, and I liked it. But the landlord from hell really was. He was interested in renting out his properties for 2 years, but he didn't tell you this at the time. And the reason why was because after 2 years you had more rights. Back then you had more rights as a renter, and he didn't want that. And so yeah, I had to move. I was made homeless basically, and I went through the council. My head was already in a bang mode because of the shop and what the girl there was doing to my brain. The other girl. I was only supposed to be renting a shelf. She was, well, bigger than a shelf. I let her rent quite a bit space, and she made me, yeah, sent my head in a panic, stole from me, and was a nasty piece of work in the end. Only saw me as someone to get what she wanted. I mean, when I went off sick and I said, right, I'm taking some time off. Now, in my shop, what I should have done was I should have said, right, well, I'm going to close shop. If you want to take your stuff out, you can. That's what I should have done, because it was my shop. No, I said she could continue in it, but it's still my shop. And she changed the locks over. And so I didn't have a set. And so I couldn't go in and check anything of mine. And it was just awful. And then she was having sales, so she could afford to go on holiday. She'd have sales, but she was selling mainly my stuff. And I couldn't do anything about it, because my head was completely... And I used to say, well, karma will get her. But I still felt really angry about it. I feel a bit calmer about it now. I think it's because karma is kicking her out the arse. Because then she moved to another shop in town. And that one's closed. And she had so many complaints and stuff. So, yeah, and it closed. And, yep. And she started her marriage. Not that I find that, you know, pleasant. Mind you, he was a bit of a weirdo. He was a klepto. He used to come in and rifle through my jars and everything else like that in front of me. And I say, excuse me, what do you think you're doing? He goes, oh, having a look. I said, no, you're not just having a look. You're having a take. Put that back. And he would do this grin and put it back. And it's like, you're a fucking, you know, this is my stuff. And yeah, and then I think they split up, and she then decided, well, she became a bit of a goer, shall we say, and that's why the shop was always near enough closed, is because she would be taking her men around there and stuff. So, well, there's karma. So it's closed. I mean, karma does happen in so many ways. Bites you on the bottom. But well. God. Do you know what? Looking at this bit, it's like, I just don't know. It's just, so much red. I love doing the other side. It's the pagoda and the green and the flowers and the lanterns. These are little lanterns. Flowers are nice. And yes, I'm doing the dragon this bit, but oh, I've chosen a big bit, and it all looks a little bit confetti-fied. But well. Some fresh putty in here, and you can tell because it goes click. Oh, except that bit. Oh God, there's a lot of these twos, and they're all over. It's not as if I can do a colour blocking just to get some of it gone. Oh no. Because where it is in the angle of things, I can't quite. I'm trying to do in a single place with a multi-placer. Oh, see, that's what I don't like. When putty leaves don't know where my tweezers have gone. Ah. Oh, there they are, hidden. Right. Oh. Oh, yeah. Is that glow in the dark? I'll have to see. I'll put it under the light and we'll see what happens. I'll just go and do all the... Oh! It's sitting on this wire and sort of squashing it. Now, once I've done this dragon and that one, it's going to be better. I'm hoping to finish this by the end of this week, by Sunday, and then I can kit up for my mystery one, which is going to be very strange to do because it's a black and white type one. If anybody's had a mystery one, and then it's and you know, down the legend there's no colours in it. The only colours you have are on the drills, and so it builds the picture as you're doing it. It's quite a big picture, which is, I wish it wasn't so big. I think I might have to swap over this. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to swap it over to this tray. I keep doing it. Luckily, I haven't done it on cam yet, I don't think. But there will be a first time. When I go to shake it like that, that they do go up there if I put too many in. Whereas I prefer putting quite a lot in. And then I do that, you see. So if I didn't have that stopper, they would have, you see, I get them all like that then. I'll have to go and my son's girlfriend, partner, fiance. I've got to go down and she's got a dentist, an emergency dentist appointment. She's going to my dentist. NHS dentists are getting very hard to get. I mean, my son doesn't have one and she doesn't have one, but the children do. Because I think the government made it that children have to have a, you know, some form of way to get dentistry done. But really, they want you to pay for everything. Which, yeah, you can understand. But when we're supposed to be on the NHS, you know, it's a little bit squiffy-eyed. I mean, I have paid my my national insurance, and I paid my taxes when I needed to or had to. Oh dear. Only 38 minutes, my word. Weird day. It's sort of a little bit sunny, but not bright, shall we say, and yet the sky looks threatening. So what I used to do was first thing in the morning, I would, when I woke up, sort of, or was waking up, or I just, you know, I'll get into bed with my tea that I'd have got, and then I would slowly wake up. And how I'd slowly wake up would be I'd open my phone, go onto Yahoo News, and I would scroll through. I always preferred it on my phone because I could scroll through each, you know, and get like 30, 31 news stories, and I'll get a good sort of thing of what the day, you know, what's been going on. And I don't know where I was going with that. And I just looked at it and thought, oh God, I really don't want to look anymore. Because the world is going very weird. I mean, at one point I used to know what was what to a certain extent, you know. You knew NATO was, you knew who was, you know, who was what in the great scheme of things. And now it's like NATO's losing power, and it's all turning into like a European army type of thing. Everybody's complaining. I mean, yeah, I'm complaining a bit, but not totally, you know, of where spending is being spent by certain countries. Like for ours at the minute, they're saying, oh, we're sending off, you know, X billions to Ukraine. And, you know, we've got our own problems, you know, like there's all these, oh, it's frightening, to be honest. They're going on still about the bloody boats and sending people back and all that kind of shit. And I'm there saying, oh, right, okay. The difference being is that a lot of these people you want to send back were either born here or they fled war-torn places, and you want to send them back there. And you want us to stop giving money to Ukraine, who's having a war at the moment and people are dying. So what do you want? Where do you want the money to go? They just want it in their pockets so they can just spend as they want. Because I can't see what else. They just want to send people back to wherever, even though, you know, sending them back is a bit of a piss take, considering a lot of them are, you know, a lot of people are born here and stuff. And you just sort of think, okay, so if we send the people back like you want, if we don't give to charity, you know, or to war-torn countries in aid and everything else like that, what happens then? Where does the money go? In your pockets? No, it won't. Or, you know, what happens when we decide we need aid and that people turn around and say, oh no, well, you won't give us aid, so you can go, you know, poo yourself. We're not going to do it. You know, where does it stop? Where does the idiocy, the bloody, oh, it all stop? Where? Can't we all just get along with each other? I mean, everybody's going on about how China is and what China's doing. Well, a lot of what China's doing is because, let's face it, have you given them much of a choice? I've seen what the world thinks of them in a hypocritical way, because while some countries are saying bad things about China, that they're still going to China to supply their products. And the difference is that Chinese people will work for little money. Not because they want to, but because they have to. They have to work. And some are working more than, you know, 2 jobs and stuff. And they're tied to where they work. And because nobody else wants to do those jobs, because you wouldn't find any Westerners saying, oh yes, I want to work in a factory for X amount of money. And yet they demand cheap everything. We want to be able to buy that thing for cheap amounts. Yeah. Now, how does it get cheap? It gets cheap by other people trying to please you and to get sales and to live. And I'm just fed up with it all. Totally fed up with it all. It's just absolutely pants. Let's all just get on with each other. Stop trying to say one country's better than the other and let's make America great. Well, no, you're not making America great. You're just hurting the people who are already great. You know. billionaires want to have everything to them, give themselves cuts and all that kind of stuff, and just sort of, it's just, I'm having a good old moan today. I'm really tired. Perhaps that's why I'm having a good old moan. Oh God, I should be doing it with this. Nope. Right, stop there. We have to go. Can't do that. Alright, let's do this. Let's go back and do these. I haven't done these in ages. The tweezers, I miss doing the tweezers. But I can do two at once. I don't know when we're ever going to learn. Never going to learn about our past mistakes, are we? We're just going to recreate them. It's like Groundhog Day. Over and over again. Slightly changed, but still the same result. Sometimes things are not broken, so don't try to fix them. I suppose school will be kicking out. I could have my next. Oh, I was so bad yesterday. I should have reached for another milkshake. Another shake. It's not a milkshake. Another diet shake. But I didn't. I ordered a McDonald's, which meant I got a triple cheeseburger. I don't have the bun, so that's possibly the saving grace, but I do love the gherkins, and I do love the ketchup and the mustard and the onion, as well as the burger, obviously. And then I had large fries, because I can have those, well. And then I had a McFlurry. No, was it a McFlurry? Not the milkshake. It's the ice cream, isn't it? One of those. Yeah. Tasted good. And it filled the gap. I didn't. So basically, yesterday I didn't have two of the shakes because I had the McDonald's. So that's not quite the same, is it? 400 calories for those shakes would have been 200 each. And the McDonald's was definitely more than 200. But, well, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm just going to... It's fish and chip night tonight, but I'm not going. No, I'm not going. Problem is, I do need to go shopping at some stage, because I do need to get some groceries, things like loo roll, down to the last roll, so I definitely need to go and get some of those. And then I want to get some fruit. I want to get some things which I can snack on to a certain extent, but, you know, are not like crisps or chocolate or anything like that, you know, things like carrot sticks and fruit. And other stuff that I can like put into my milkshakes. Or I can't find my little grater, and I have a horrible feeling that I sent that to the charity shop thinking I'm not going to use it. So I want to get another one. They're only like £1 from either Pound World or Poundland, I mean, or Yorkshire Trading. So I'll get one of those. And other things. Yeah, I mean, last time I had the soup, and I'm not doing the soup this time. I went for 4 milkshakes. But it's Tuesday. I should have weighed myself. Oh, I'm having a shower tonight, which isn't a very good thing. I used to weigh myself in the morning before you've had a chance to put on the, you know, eat the food to put on the weight. But well, so when I mean, because I'm not having so much crisps and chocolate, which is it. If I can break that, that's the one. I think I could definitely do away of the chocolate and the sweets better than I could do away with not having right. Okay, I have to go because my son is needing me to look after the kids. So I will see you all very soon. Love you all. Bye.